get started. All right, it says recording. So welcome. Today we are going to talk about commission in command. I always want to say compliance in command because I've been saying that a lot. But today's commissions in command. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Find the right thing to share. And there we are. Now I just have to find the right thing that I shared. All right, which, hold on.
We see your command dashboard.
All right, I think it's this one, isn't it? Did it change right now to opportunities?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's thinking. Did it go now?
Still no. We're still on your home screen on command.
Let's redo this one and close that. Sorry. Too many buttons open. All right, there we go. Now I think you can see my command homepage. There's a little folder in the background I'm closing, and I'm on opportunities, right?
Yep, opportunities dashboard.
Awesome. So what I'm going to do really quick, I think you guys all know how to create an opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and create an opportunity really quick so I can use this. And I'm going to use the listing one, and I'm going to use Mickey Mouse. And we'll just do it super quick. I'm going to put it in the active phase, and we're going to go in negotiations. Go ahead and create that. And this looks pretty familiar to you guys, right?
Yep.
One of the first things you can do as soon as your listing goes live in the MLS is there's this button up here that says select from listings. When you do that, you get to go in and it should show your listings. And this is getting closer and closer. So a lot of mine have disappeared now. There's been a little bit of so like 4 of the 5 of these are super old, but this is actually my active one. So I'm going to select my active one, and it puts the listing up there, but it also puts it in the property address. That's essential to be done to do the commissions in command. And it's kind of nice to be able to have that up there and be able to see that stuff. You can also remove it if you happen to put the wrong one in. And if you guys didn't know, if you need to see the contact, you can click the contact up there and it has their contact information, and you can then go to the contacts right there. So a couple little new features that are on there. But from the listing side for commissions in command, you'll need to have that in. On the buy side, when you create the offer, I'm going to show you guys in a second, you'll link to KWS and find the other agent, whoever they are. They should all be in KWS now, and you'll attach that. And I can show you guys that in a second. So there's 2 parts to commissions in command. The first part is you create an offer. And so right here, you guys are really familiar with the documents section. Right next to that is the offers. And this is a listing. So I can come in and I listed this and I get 4 offers. I could put all 4 offers in here, and we'll do 2 so I can show you guys this really quick. So I'm going to add a new offer. I can call it whatever I want. Halprin offer. If you guys could not look while I'm typing, it helps me type better, please. So here's the start of the offer. We've got our offer date. We've got our close date. Josh's offer says we're going to close June 12th. And then we come in and we put our parties. Because Mickey and myself are already here, we already know that information. You can put the buyer's name from the offer that you got. So buyer name and agent name. And you can even mark if they're pre-approved or pre-qualified, because there's a little bit of a difference there, right? And you can fill in as much of this as you want, but that's the minimum you have to put in. I like to show you the minimum and tell you you can do more. Then we put our terms. So this is going to come from the offer. This is pretty much everything that's on page 4. Yeah, page 4 of the offer, where you're filling out the offer information. What they're beta testing is and they have it in 5 states, where you upload your offer and it automatically fills this out for you. So right now you have to fill it in, but in the future it might be as easy as uploading the PDF offer, and it's going to do all this work for you. So this house was listed at $275,000. Josh, your offer is $285,000 with $20,000 down, right? $20,000 in
rubles
down payment in what you're paying for the loan, the down payment. So not the earnest money, the down payment.
Correct.
So Josh, the total cash is going to be the earnest money plus the down payment, earnest money, and what you bring to the closing. In this case, $20,000 total. Josh is offering 285, so they're financing 265,000 for my total $285,000 price. Down here, I can put in the earnest money because if I'm going to compare these, I'd want to put in the earnest money. So I can put in 1%, I could put in $3,000. It doesn't really matter which one I put, and it doesn't impact the cash. So this 3,000 is already included in the 20,000 up here. So you don't separate out the earnest and what you're bringing at closing. This is the total down payment right here. It breaks out the earnest money. Any questions on that so far? And I see a chat question. Thanks, Josh. I'll answer that in just a second here. So option fees we're not using. In Texas and California, some states have a process where for $500, the seller can take the property off the market and negotiate with somebody before they're under contract. We don't use that here. I use the termination fee, termination option as how many days is the inspection period. They have this many days to give the notice of, I wish we could change this to inspection/termination, but I'm using it as termination because there's nowhere, or as inspection because there's nowhere else to do that. Josh, did you guys ask for a home warranty?
We did.
All right, so
$650.
$650. So down here, I'm going to click in the seller will contribute this much to a residential sales contract and do $650. And are you asking for closing costs, Josh?
Yes, they've agreed to pay $4,000 in closing costs. Or we've agreed to. Yep.
So we have our agent analysis here. We can put the pros and cons in and we can save it. And now we have an offer in here. We can accept, reject that. We can also go in and add negotiations. So this is the initial offer. Helper and counter. So we can counter this and say, hey, we want to, we're not going to pay the $4,000 in closing costs. And so it's just going through the exact same thing here. I can go through these super quick and we countered with 2,000 and everything else is the same. So I put 2,000 in there, I hit save. And now in here, I can see our original offer and our counter offer. So I start to be able to track in one place where I'm countering and who I'm countering. And I can put in another offer. Oops, wrong button. Too many green buttons. So I can add another offer here. So this is Fosgate. So Chris, you're making an offer.
Oh, good.
So Chris's closing date is, sorry about that. I thought I turned off things. So Chris wants to close quick. 5/29. Chris's buyer name and Chris Fosgate. And then I can come down here to terms. Chris is offering $270 cash.
Long as it beats Josh's offer, we're good.
$270 in cash. He's going to put $5,000 down because he's serious about it. He's going to do 10 days and he's not doing anything else on these. So I can do my agent analysis, hit save. And now with the offers, I can select all and it opens up this compare offers. And you can now download this as a PDF and see right next to each other, each of the offers and how they compare. One of the things I've noticed on this is it doesn't show the net unless you come into details. And at the very bottom down here, there's a show net comparison. You can turn that on. If you edit, you can turn the net comparison on and hit save. So there's a little step to actually get to that offer presentation. But if I select all these now, I can compare my offers. And at the very bottom, it's going to have a net. So this one actually nets more than Josh's because it figures in the commission already. It kind of knows that it's going to be about a 3% commission. So it figures some of that stuff in. This is still a little bit, to me, it's a little bit of work in progress because you notice that the seller paid closing costs and the home warranty aren't figured in here anywhere. So you might have to manually put those into the pros and cons to make this work right. But I wanted to show that to you guys as a kind of a cool feature to be able to put everything in one place. So I've talked to my seller and we've got these two offers, and he goes, you know, 285 sounds really good, but it is financed. So the 270 cash, quicker close. I'm torn. He decides to go with Josh's because he's about the money. So congratulations, Josh. I accepted your offer. So in the button up here, you'll notice it's accept reject. I can accept that offer, and it now opens up your commission spot up here. Before I accepted that, this was grayed out. Josh's gets that doesn't allow me to do much more with Josh's because I've accepted an offer on this property. And so now I'm ready to do my commissions. We've gotten through our inspections. We've negotiated out that nothing's really changing. And so I'm going to go up to my commissions. Right next door, I click that, and it says, what was your contract date? So we sign the contract tomorrow because I'm doing it tomorrow. And I have my close date wrong on this. And so I would need to go back to the offers, and quickly I can come in here and change my response and edit that offer really quick and make sure that I have the right close date. So we said we were closing on June 12th. I hit save and I re-accept that offer. Go back to my commissions, put in my contract date because it saved it now. Based on the 285 sales price and 3% commission, the commission should be this. But I might have a net offer, right? And so when I subtract the $2,000 of closing costs, the commission is actually paid on $283,000. And so I can open up my calculator and take, it won't move. I'll just do it down here. 285,000 times 0.03 is 283 times, sorry. Is $8,490. So I can come in here and I can click on this and just type in $8,490. It changes the commission, it changes the percentage. I could come back, and if this is a 2% commission, I can put that there. Very easy to modify the commission amount to match whatever you need to make it match. So 8,490, 8,490. And you'll notice that it pops up this red box up here now. It says, I can't submit because the total commission doesn't match. My commission down here still says 8,490. So I would need to change this to 8,490. And now it'll recalculate for a second, and it'll take the red box away. So the red box across the top tells you if you have something wrong. So in my case, I don't split it with anybody. I would be able to hit submit. Just an update, these cap numbers and royalty numbers are just estimates. They may be off based on the timing of closings. The actual cap and royalty that gets paid is done with the DA and when your commission checks come in. So there's nothing to do here because they're just kind of estimates. If it's off a little bit, we make sure you don't get more than your cap and royalty taken out when you get paid. So just keep that in mind that, hey, I'm getting close. We know that they're not exactly right now, but they're at least good estimates to let you know where you're at. Down here, I can add in KW Cares, KW Kids Can, and Bold Scholarship. I can even add an item. So I have a $395 flat fee. I come in here and I type in $395. I add it, and it adds it up here into my commissions as a bonus. I could even add a note for the person who makes your DA, your commission letters, to say $395 is a transaction fee. If it pays directly to another agent in our office, as like I know Josh does some transaction stuff and people will pay him off the green sheets, you can come down here and add a deduction in and type in what it's for. So transaction coordinator pay to Josh. We can put the office address, or if you know their address. So as I start typing, it starts to pull things up. Oh, college. I was going home, guys. It's Friday afternoon. I'm ready to go home. Josh's phone number would go in here, so I'll just put mine and add. Oh, forgot to put the amount. No tax ID or anything. No tax IDs needed or anything. So I just hit add, and that $395 is a plus there. Fosgate referred this to me, and I'm in Chris's office. I can use the inside referral. If there's an outside referral to a different company outside of your office, you can add that outside referral there. The outside referral does ask for some additional information there. So sometimes you might just put that into the note. There's this agent co-broker up here. So this is a listing. That doesn't work. Just ignore that button. Don't put anything in there for now. We might change it down the road if we get it to work right. Don't worry about that. In the add note, just type in who the other brokerage is. So Keller Williams Plaza. Congratulations, Elizabeth. You're the co-broker. And Elizabeth gets the exact same amount I get, so $84.90. That's how we're kind of tracking on the listings, the co-broker. I just click add, and it puts the note here, and your MCAs and commission compliance creators will put that into the DA letters on the listing side. The buy side doesn't need that, but they do need, on the listing side, we do need that. In my case, I think I have everything done. I could hit submit, and it's going to go to, just like hitting submit on a green sheet, this goes to your compliance people, and they review it and send it back. I don't know if anybody's ever gotten one returned in green sheets. They review it, make any changes. They could send it back. So if I put in here that I was paying KW Cares $5,000, and that's kind of a weird thing, and I meant to put 50, somebody might send it back and go, hey, did you really mean to give KW Cares $5,000? Or if you forgot the note on the co-broker, they might send it back. Hey, can you put the co-broker in the note and resubmit it?
Hey, Kyle, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
I know that you didn't show where, you said that you were going to be the only agent, but I was just practicing this the other day on one of the accounts that we do for Josh for TC work. And they almost always have two different agents, right? That they're splitting it. And when I went to go do that, I kind of just got stopped because it wasn't allowing me to, it allowed me to add the other agent, but then when I tried to switch the commissions, it wasn't allowing me to do that.
You beat me to it. That's actually what I was going to show right now.
Oh, you were? Okay, I'm so sorry. I thought we were beyond that point.
Nope. So this is the individual agent. So on a team, Josh is my rainmaker. I'm only because I can see Josh. That's the only reason I keep picking on him. Josh is my rainmaker. I'm the agent. I could figure out if it's 20%, 50%, whatever. You have to figure that out. You can also change the units. So I could get half the unit and Josh could get half the unit. And as soon as I do that, it's going to pop up here and say, hey, you can't submit because your value doesn't add up to 1 on your units. And then I'm going to do easy math because I like easy math in this case. So in this case, Josh is getting $2,000 and I'm getting the remainder. So I'm getting $6,490. It's going to recalculate and tell me at the top, you can't do this because not everything adds up. Plus when I have $5,000 down here, that's more money than I actually have coming to me. And so I change that back to 0. Once I change mine and it's less than the total commission amount, it opens up this add agent at the bottom. That's not available until this total commission for me is less than the total commission. So when I click add agent, I can find an agent in my office. So Josh Halpern's right there. I click add. And as I scroll down, I can go up, I can add 0.05 here. So Josh and I are splitting the units. And as that recalculates, it'll take the top off up here. This agent unit values must total 1 goes away. Josh can't have a 0 commission. So it's telling me that. Plus it tells me I still don't have everything done. So I type in $2,000 for Josh. It recalculates and the red bar should go away for me. Everything else on the bottom is exactly the same as the top. You can add in deductions for there. You can, you'll be able to see the estimated royalty. Like I said, those are just estimates. Don't pay any attention to them. As long as you have this gross commission number right and any bonuses and deductions correct, when we give you your DA or your commission letter, double check to make sure we did it right. But those should all go over there, because sometimes the pay to agents over here isn't necessarily right because the cap and the royalty aren't going to be exactly accurate. But as long as you have this gross commission right and total commission, you have your units right, the actual accounting system will do everything else. So if I was ready to submit this, I hit submit, and it's going to pop up and say, hey, Kyle, would you like to donate? And I can say, yeah, I'll donate $10 this time to KW Cares, or not at this time. Hit apply, and that's it. So did I answer the question?
Yeah, I think so. I think I just need to go back in there because I was trying to change the amount. It wasn't letting me, but maybe I wasn't. Yeah, maybe I just didn't go through all the steps like you just did. So I'll play with that. And if I ever have any questions, I'll reach out. Thank you.
So you have to reduce the total commission on the first agent before
Okay.
it will allow you to add the second agent.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And I think I was going maybe about that process wrong and trying to switch it after I added the agent.
Right.
Okay.
So when your commission letter is created, it's going to be put back into documents. And as far as I know, for most of the offices, there's 4 offices here that were invited to this. So for almost all the offices, and you might check quickly under your closed folder, there's going to be a spot for the DA for title that you can then go to and download and send to your lender or lender title company. So everything really, the idea behind Command is let's get everything in one place. So you can see all your compliance documents here. You can see your offers here. You can see your commissions here. You can see any notes you have on this transaction right here. You can change your details right here. And part of the details, so like in here where we have these appointments scheduled, appointment date 1. And when you go to your reports, the reports all pull from the opportunities. So when you move it to closed and you go to your goals in Command, that's how the Command goals knows to update. Oh, look, we've got a closing here. So it's really simple on the commissions. You do the offers, then you do the commissions. Make sure to have this, have a listing on this. Really quickly, let me get to my buyers really quick. I'll show you really the only difference on the buy side. Do I have a Mickey Mouse? Nope, we can't. Let's not use that one. So really quickly, one tip too is if you've put an opportunity in, put it in as a listing, and you meant to do it as a buyer, you can click on whatever phase you want to put it in. So I'm going to put this one in active, and then you can create an opportunity right there, and it's going to put it right into that active searching. It doesn't give you just the listing drop down. It still allows you to choose, but it's going to automatically say, oh, I'm in the buyer pipeline. I'm going to create a buyer opportunity. So a little tip there. Put in Mickey Mouse again. 3%, 2%. Create my offer. So right here, I need to create an offer. And when I click create offer, it looks almost exactly the same, except there's this select from KWLS button. So I can select that. Anybody have an active listing? So I'm going to change it out from all statuses and I'm going to change that to for sale first. And then I'm going to change it to all listings because otherwise it takes too long to load. Anybody have a listing they want me to make an offer on? Nobody? Josh, got any addresses? Anybody got an address?
I don't have an active listing currently, just a buyer contract going right now. Will it just work if we just put in my personal address, for example?
No, because it has to be in KWLS.
Okay.
So I'm just going to see if I can find one in Overland Park, Kansas. We're going to pretend I searched for 17053 Magnolia Street. And I can actually do that. Let's just copy that. So I'm going to make an offer on 7053 Magnolia Street. When I search, it should pull up, it pulls up a couple of other ones, 7053. So it's kind of a nice search that it won't just narrow it down to that. But this is the official one. You notice it's with Weichert. So all the listings on the MLS pull into here. I select it and it automatically pulls the address in here. If it's an off-market transaction, just put the address in right here when you do that. If I clear this out, I can type the address in. So if I was making an offer on the office, I could type the address in. But ideally, you want to select from KWLS because that's going to pull in some information for you. So when I click parties, Mickey Mouse is there, I'm there, but also the other agent's name is there. So that's one less thing I have to enter. All I have to do is go to the seller's disclosure, get seller's name, and hit terms. And this is exactly the same as before. So I didn't remember the price, but $20,000 down, 180,000 is financed, 200,000 purchase price, 4,000 in closings, 20-day inspection, and $500 home warranty, and $10,000 in seller paid closing costs. I don't know, you can't really do that much, but might as well do it, right? And now I have an offer. I could put every offer in it. It's cool because it pulls the picture in, so it helps you remember which one it is. That's why you can use the KWLS part. I could say this gets rejected or it's multiple offers and ours doesn't get accepted. I can reject it, go in and put another offer. So now I can look at all the different offers we're making for the same client and quickly look in here and say, okay, we've made 20 offers and haven't gotten a single one accepted. Are we making low offers? What are we doing? But one place to kind of start to track your offers, or to go back and say, hey, maybe this didn't go under contract. They just rejected our offer. Let's maybe raise our offer and go back to that. But you'll be able to see all the offers in one place. You can change the response to accept, and it's going to open your commissions here. And this is pretty much exactly the same as the other side. You just don't have to add the note for the co-broker because we don't put the co-broker on buy side commission letters. Does that make sense? Any questions? Explained everything perfectly?
So Kyle, just to clarify, so when you have a buy side and it's a FSBO, as long as you go to that one page where you can physically type in the address, if it's not something you're pulling from KWLS, that's how you can get around with a FSBO.
Yep. So if I edit this and I clear this out and type college, save, it'll do the same thing here. I can accept this. It does pull in some information, but yeah, as long as I have an address in there, it's going to let me do the commissions.
Could you talk to the remaining two menu items, in this case, the buyer profile and the timeline, just so everyone understands how those can be utilized?
Yeah. So the buyer profile is used when a client creates a account on your Keller Williams app or your Keller Williams webpage. Those two are connected. It's the same thing. It'll come in here, and on your contacts, there'll be a green. See if I can get to it really quick. There'll be a green little check mark. That means that they've created an account on your webpage or app. There we go. So all these little green checks mean there's a connection there. So if I go into me and I go to opportunities, I'd be able to see some information. It's really about the guides that you can do, and you'll be able to check things off in there with the guides that are on the web pages and control the consumer experience a little bit from that. Now I forgot where I was. The other one is, what was the other one, Josh?
The timeline.
The timeline is everything that happens on this transaction, on this opportunity. Get back to here. Here's my opportunity. And you'll notice that when I typed that address into the offer, it changes it here as well. So you know exactly which property you're dealing with. If that offer gets rejected, you can put another offer. You can come in and change this address here to another address. if the offer gets rejected. But that this address should match the property that's under contract or being sold. The timeline. This shows everything that's happened in this property. So you notice I changed it from Magnolia to College Boulevard. So you can go back and say, oh yeah, we reviewed it there. I changed the commission at 131. At 131, the initial offer accepted was changed. I created it at 127. When the compliance team reviews it, you can actually see what time they reviewed it and sent it back to you. So everything that happens in here is, so you can see commissions, you can see offers, you can see, you can narrow it down to documents, apply the filters. You can even see which person it did what activity. So if you have people on a team, you can go in and see that your admin checked off the checklist. So very easy to be able to see what's happening in there. One thing I did want to show you guys really quick. So where did I see that? I think it's in the details, sorry. There's this lost opportunity button here. The lost opportunity is when you have a listing that doesn't sell and cancels. You had a chance to make money, but you didn't get any, but you didn't because they canceled. Or on the buy side, you had something under contract and they canceled and stopped looking, because that's a lost opportunity. You had an opportunity to get to closing, but something happened and it didn't. If I just entered this wrong, I'm not really going to use the lost opportunity. I'm going to use the archive, and that just deletes the opportunity. So I entered it under listings instead of buyers. But the idea is the artificial intelligence is going to start to track those lost opportunities and start to show you where you lost that opportunity. Did you lose it at inspections? Did you lose it at, negotiations? Where did you lose that opportunity? And try and help you go, okay, I'm losing them all in the same place. So then I can come back and work on that and go, okay, I need to learn better negotiation skills because I seem to lose them all at negotiations, or I seem to lose them all at appraisals. So I'm not very good at pricing things because we're getting them, we're making too big of offers and they're not getting accepted. So that's the idea behind the opportunities, the lost opportunity, the difference between lost opportunity and archive. The archive is just going to get rid of it. So I archive most of mine because it's Mickey Mouse and it cleans out my pipeline. Once you get into under contract and closed, you can't archive it anymore. So another instance of an archive would be, I've cultivated this person, they're no longer wanting to buy. I'm just going to get rid of that one. I never really had an opportunity. I never had them under any sort of buyer agency or any opportunity to actually sell them something. So I'm just going to get rid of them. What else? What other questions? Do you want me to turn the recording off so you can ask questions?
None for me. Any